And but actually, when did you start writing seriously? And how did you plan? Because one person writing is a lonely job, but two writing together, how did you manage?
Initially, the Khandwa, because I have been going there, and in Khandwa, Indore, 50s and the 60s, especially, I had taken 70s, because Anirudha is more into technical things, to the song descriptions, whatever you see. And let me tell you, the brainchild of the structure is also his only.
Like naming with
Naming
raha.
with nagas and all those things. That was those thing. And uh, 50s, 60s, then emergency, that part I took over. So that's how we used to share notes. Sometimes something, if I feel I could improve his inputs, where some factual errors were there, where he felt that he could have improved. So we always, I mean, you can see our chats, it might be running into thousands of pages, WhatsApp chats and all.
That means you never sat together and wrote. You were writing at one place?
Yeah, I was writing in Guwahati.
Okay.
And he was writing in Bangalore. At that time he was in Bangalore. Yeah.
And then you scan them and send them?
No, I used to send my chapters to him by mail. And then he used to send his.
And then? But how did you divide the chapters like?
That's what I told him, sir.
You named the chapters in ragas, but initially it is.
I used to send him the manuscripts. So he used to fit it into the chapters. Like, for example, say the 50s, that would have been mainly 100-page I would write on that. So you fit it into those. The fitting part is totally.
But totally, how many pages have you written initially? Because this is
a heavily edited book.
Yes.
Yes.
It is obvious by looking at its structure, the way it is modeled.
Yeah.
You know that you must have written more than thousands of pages.
Yes.
And then edited it or rewrote certain things.
Yes.
Omitted certain things.
Yes.
I think the omitted runs into lots of pages.
Lots of pages, yes.
So how did you decide which should go in, which should fit in? And can you tell us a few very interesting incidents that you have left out?
It's a very good question. We have left out certain incidents of his childhood and of his college. Then we have left out, this his tiffs with Amitabh Bachchan. If you see, not much has been written on that.
You stopped singing for Amitabh Bachchan.
That we just ended with that. We had some more materials on that. We had left out.
And you stopped singing for Mithun Chakravarti. That you just mentioned and then passed it over.
Yes. So because of the paucity of spaces and all, then he was one thing which we had written that might be there in the Bengali edition. He had never dominated the Bengali music field like the others, but in the 80s he was a one-man show for the Bengali industry. So that he was continuously giving hits after hits, much more than the Hindi ones, in fact. So that portion
actually, by 80s, the melody has gone out of Hindi film songs.
Yes.
And even Latha Mangeshkar was frustrated with the songs that are created.
Yeah.
Kishore Kumar to express, even though he was singing.
A lot of interviews we'll see where he's saying that totally. That's why I got to go back to Khandwa. This is not the way. But just because Kishore Kumar was singing, maybe we could still hear those Ekak Maru and all those things. You cannot imagine those by somebody else.
What I feel sudden, the tragic part is when most creative music directors were there, Kishore was not into serious singing. Yes. When he came into serious singing, the creativity is really gone down out of film music.
Exactly, very true, very true. Like that is what actually, because 50s were supposed to be his best years. Only thing is that he got entangled in a lot of B-grade movies. If you see, he was working 24 hours a day almost, and as per few film magazines of the 50s, after Dilip Kumar, he was the busiest star in the industry. So had he been a bit more prudent, and if he could have combined certain songs and all, he would have been. And plus one more thing, most important thing, sir, which I just forgot, is that Kishore Kumar's first 2 movies as a music director, both remained unreleased. And if you had seen those movies, these songs are available in YouTube. If you have a chance, just look into it. These are classics. These are not anywhere less than Durgagan Ki Chhaav Mein Aano. So had God smiled on him, and if those two movies in 1959 and 60 had been released, he would have been in a different plane altogether. Suhana Geet and the last one.
Yes, you mentioned those things. But and this is a
Yeah.
personal feeling that the film industry does not let a person do more than a single role. If he was a singer, he should be a singer, not act. If he is an actor, he should not sing.
Ah.
So combining both of them with music direction
Yes.
would have been disaster like Hemant Kumar.
Yeah. And see, this one more interesting thing is that he was like what he was saying, but he was still managing it. But 60s, I mean, stay in the book also because of this Madhubala's health.
Yes.
Madhubala's health actually it started affecting him also, and that is why you see suddenly his appearance in the films change. 61 and onwards he lost hair and he appeared old. If you see that Kishore Kumar of 58 and Kishore Kumar of 62, you will find a lot of difference. And this Madhubala, when she was not keeping well, Kishore Kumar, that's also there in the book, I think. He used to have dinner twice.
Yeah.
Once with Madhubala and once
With his mother.
with his mother. So having dinner twice also took a toll on his health.
That having a person constantly sick in the house,
Yeah.
it affects anybody's
Yeah,
psyche.
yes. And 60s, like what you were telling, sir, that again brings me to that. Lot of shelved movies were there. In fact, there is one movie called Dil Se Mile Dil. I don't know the reason why this movie has not seen the light of the day. It's a complete movie. I have got the full story also. And this movie pitted Kishore Kumar against Balraj Sahni.
Oh.
So that movie in 67 would have been a, I don't know, but looks to be a, I mean, very tempting movie. Right?
Crazy actor versus natural actor.
Yes. So, but that was Kishore Kumar.
And what is the research that has gone into it? Because there are some of the things in this book I have not read anywhere in any magazine.
Can you just tell me, sir, a few things, then I can tell you where.
About his childhood, about his college days,
Yeah.
and all those things about certificates you told me the principal, but these things were never mentioned anywhere. These are
These are virgin
new information.
information.
So what is that?
So let me start with his childhood. Childhood mostly started with his friends. His friends talk.
They were ready to talk, or
Yeah. They were ready to talk. I even met his college schoolmates, and if you see in the acknowledgement, we have given Randik Bhai Mehta is one of his closest friend. He was went to his house. Unfortunately, he died some 4, 5, 6. Gave us a lot of information. Then his one more person was there, Baba Bhai Andaiwale. So Kishore Kumar had made a movie. Actually, Kishore Kumar had made a movie on his friends. Khandwa Ki Shaan. He's not released it, but just that. Let us make a movie. See that how the person was. He made a movie only for his friend. Did not release it. No distributor. Nothing. Made it. Made our friends happy. Kept it. So he also gave us a lot of inputs. Then there was one person called Surendra Pagade. Surendra Pagade, unfortunately, he was no more, but his son is there, Ajay Pagade. He knew lot of information. He was a, warehouse of information. Some of the informations we have given,
nobody has given so far.
yeah, some of the informations we have kept on hold. We might, that's what I was just telling you, sir, that we might be editing and appending some informations in the Hindi book, maybe, because Khandwa, they are not much interested in English books. They were just when you are bringing the Hindi one, when you are bringing that is what they are just requesting us. So we have told them that next 4th August, at least we'll try our best to come up with the Hindi one. So some more information might be there in the Hindi.
And actually, while reading this, one naughty thought was always at the back of my mind.
Yes, sir.
Kishore Kumar is a colorful personality, a very lovable person, right? Like in half ticket, even though HL is a very lovable person.
Yes.
Then there was no love story. वो जवानी जवानी नहीं जिसकी कोई कहानी ना हो.
हाँ.
There was no love story till he came to films and met his first wife.
Yeah.
So it really looks a bit out of character.
That angle actually, we did not frankly ask anyone also in Khandwa. I should not tell you the any other theoretical things, but one thing is there. If you see in the book, it is there that in Indore Christian college, a lot of girls used to
Yes.
fall for it. That is there. Otherwise,
So nothing specific.
nothing. But lot of
बचना है हसीनों लोगों में.
but it is a fact that because of his voice, he had attracted a lot of female
Yes.
followers. That is there.
And one more thing, what I would like to know from you is, there is a perceptible change in his voice after 60, especially during 69.
Yes.
So usually there will be degradation in the voice as a person ages, or
Yes.
his voice loses that
Yes.
strength, like it happened to Mohammad Rafi.
Yes.
But why Kishore Kumar's voice suddenly became such a baritone and strong and powerful voice? Is there any
Maybe that is Kishore Kumar was a person who used to ride only on the confidence factor. If you see after that, after Madhubala passed away, he had no luggage
Yes.
as such. And he was alone in a palatial palace in Gauri Kunj and all, and he used to do his riyaz very, very meticulously in the 70s. In the 60s, the riyaz was not there because of his personal issues. In fact, he had to, he had to shoot Dudh Gagan Ki Chhaw Mein on the headlight of a car because he had spent all his money on Madhubala's treatment. And Kishore Films had stopped also for some time between that. So with that mentality, it is difficult for a person to focus on riyazes, singing, and also he did not have that time and mentality also. But in 70s, he was a different ball game altogether.
He was a free bird.
He was a free bird.
And his voice soared great heights.
and Yogita Bali also was with him for only 1.5 years.
And he was never into Yogita Bali. What I
Yes,
feel
yes,
is no
yes,
mental
yes.
connection.
No mental connection.
It was just on the spot of the moment.
Yes. So he was a free bird, and exactly like as you point out, and his voice grew, his baritone and the bass.
His hey itself was melodious.
Yes. And today also I was just there was a movie Tumhari Kasam, Main Husn Ka Hu Diwana. The way he goes for the longer notes and all. And if you see, there's Ponga Pandit is one song. Just hear that song. Main jab se chedunga dil ka tarana. He goes, that is, and he does not lose the tune.
Genius.
He does not lose the tune.
For a person untrained in classical singing.
Yeah. And then there was this song, that movie was there. You can just search in YouTube. It's a rare song which I am talking of, Akarshan. That has a lyrics. Kisme hai dam tujhe mujhse jo chhin le. I mean, this is such a worst kind of lyrics. Kisme hai dam tujhe. He makes that lyrics also sound so melodious. So this is like, and if one more thing, if you notice this different ones in 80s. With the heart attacks and all, still he sang that song in Sharabi. Log kehte hain main sharabi hu.
And he is a teetotaler.
He is a teetotaler. The way he was doing those stunts with that lung power in spite of the broken heart. That is also, it is very difficult, very, very difficult. But one thing again I would like to just emphasize, in 80s he was making a modulation in his voice and was bringing some of the 50s component into it. He was again going back to his nasal tones.
Yes.
You see the last songs of Kash, that was Rajesh Roshan's this one movie is there, Makkar, To He Mirrors. He would speak, he would sing with his bass, with his baritone, and he would bring that
Nasal tint.
nasal identity also. And
Which was there in 50s and 60s.
which was there in 50s, and that combination I feel is super combination. We can just
Yes.
just after this sketch we can hear a few songs and then we can
Wish you could
appreciate.
sing.
That is what is Anirudha is
He sings.
he sings a lot, but unfortunately I don't know how to sing much. So restricted to. So another thing you were asking about this research, we had met during my honeymoon, of course, at that time only. Met his principal. That video I had uploaded, I think, 3 days back. The person was around 100 during the time I interviewed him. He gave me some information, but it was incoherent because of his age. And then the high point of the book is meeting Abdul. His secretary, his driver, his secretary, he was with him for the total amount of time. And all people whom we have met did not have any single bad words to say about him, not a single person.